Okay, the next step in processing, or rather the first step after we figured out the file structure, the data Dicom file structure, is to convert the Dicom files into Nifti files. This Nifti files is the file format that SPM requires. All right. So to do that, I'm going to use the software that I'm going to use to do that is MRI Crow GL, and I've installed that. MRI Crow GL is like the advanced version of MRI Cron. MRI Cron also has the Dicom to Nifti conversion, but the more recent package is MRI Crow GL. If you haven't installed that, just go ahead and Google that and install the latest MRI Crow GL, and it will come with the DCM Dicom to Nifti conversion software as well. In this tutorial, I'm just going to run through the graphical user interface method, and I will be reserving the scripting and coding method to another tutorial. So let's go ahead and open MRI Crow GL. And I have that open in another screen, bringing it over here. This is what it will look like if you are using a Mac. It also has a Windows version, so do adjust for that accordingly. In order for us to do the conversion tool is right here in the import menu and convert Dicom to Nifti. So go ahead and select that, and this next window will open. Just to orientate you, you can familiarize it with this interface, but what this interface has is it will tell you the output file name structure that will be generated. So for example, right now it will create, if you feed it Dicom files, it will then create a Nifti file that will be named accordingly. Like for example, my folder, MP-Rage, some dates and some ID information. And then it will have a nifty.gz. This .gz is a zipped Nifti format, and we don't want that, but we will change some settings so that we can get a direct .nifty file as the output. And then it will ask you about where you want to save the resulting Nifti folders. We're gonna leave that as is, save Nifti images to the same folder as the Dicom. We'll move that manually later. And here's where we can change the output format. Right now it's set to compressed Nifti. That's the nifty.gz. We will change that to just Nifti. All right, and you can see that the file name will change as well. The rest of the things you can explore yourselves, but we will leave that as default. And then the final thing to do is to select the folder to convert. So we're going to click this, and then we're going to select the REP project, the data, the source image IMA. I'm going to just convert Y01 first. So I'm just going to select it at this level. All right, and I'm going to click open. And it should do the conversion. It should detect all the Dicom files that are in that folder and then do the conversion automatically. We'll let it run. And it will do that, and as it does that, it will report the Dicom files that it had generated one step at a time. Here, let me open the screen, and you can see that it will have generated the T1, the Rep1 and Rep2 EPI images that were original, plus the Rep1 and Rep2 EPI images with the MoCo here. That's the automatic Siemens motion correction script that it runs. Remember, we ignore these two. We don't want those. And also, of course, the T2. This is the T2 image here. All right. Now, just to check, these files will be now located in your Y01 directory. So we go back to the Finder, and we take a look at the Y01 directory, and yes, we see that the Nifti files have been generated now from the original Dicoms. All right, so I like to move these to my new source Nifti data, so that I want to distinguish that these are the source, sorry, not the new source, but the raw data. So I'm going to do a new folder, raw Nifties, all right? And I'm going to here duplicate the structure so that I have a subjects folder, which I will put in the raw Nifty. And I will have a Y01 folder for this subject, and I will put that under subjects. All right, so I will replicate this directory tree, and I will drag all the Nifty files for this subject that was just created to that new Y01 folder that I just created. In this way, I don't touch the original Dicoms, right? I create the Nifty from the original Dicoms, but then I move the Nifty to this raw Nifty folder, and from here on, we will operate on these files, and so we never disturb the original data, and so that we can go ahead and close these. We don't need to see that, but we will focus on these. You will also notice that along with the Nifty files, it also generates these JSON files. These are file descriptives, so kind of like it tells the system some summary information about the Nifty files. So for the purposes of this course, we won't worry about that. We'll just focus on the Nifties, but you can leave the JSON files there. They don't hurt us any. All right, so at this point, we have completed the Dicom to Nifty conversion, and we can continue now to use SPM to operate on these Nifty files.